Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be looking at one of my 100-day projects pages and using some colour to capture emotion. So I'm starting off in my junk journal, and you can see I've got two funny looking pages. Funnily enough, in this junk journal these two pages are actually the same size. Lots of times these are two completely different sizes. And yeah, we're doing a page because I just need to do a page. I was not feeling the best at this stage, and I just needed to get out of my head and get into my journal. And I've been really drawn to this colour at the moment. It is not a colour I use very often, that sort of reddy orangey colour. Quite often you would see this quite a lot. The fuchsia, the more purpley colour, is the colour I tend to go to, but I've been really drawn to that warm red colour, and have been using it a lot on my pages. And then adding in this red as well, the ruby red. I have no rhyme or reason or why I've been doing this, but as I've been looking at my videos, because I tend to do my videos in a batch, I've noticed this colour scheme coming up more and more. And it made me just wonder about why I've been using it. And that's what I wanted to talk about today in the chat, because you've seen me do lots of abstracts. I will talk about it as we go along, but colour is really, really important, and sometimes we choose it really instinctively, and sometimes we choose it deliberately. In this case, I suppose it was a little bit of instinctive. I wasn't stating out to go, oh, you know, I want to use blues today in my journal, or I want to use greens today. I just chose colours off my table, and these are the colours I ended up with. So I've got that sort of really warm red colour, which is called Sedona. I've got the ruby, I've got fuchsia, I've got a little bit of the pink, and then I have got some of the Payne's grey, which is a really dark grey colour, but when you blend it out, it sort of gives you these beautiful purpley tones. So I'm sure lots of people have ideas about why I'm going to those colours, but for me it's kind of got that warmth to it, but I think it also shows there's a lot of turmoil underneath and stuff going on underneath, and you've sort of got those grey and white patches. And then I started doing the mark making over the top, which was kind of intuitive too, and you'll notice all those scribbly chaotic lines sort of going across the middle with the orange and the black. It's not my usual mark making, and I suppose that's when I went back and sort of reflected on this page, and the quote I put in at the end, it sort of said a lot about where my head was at when I was making this page. So, you know, we can just go into our art journals to make and have fun, but sometimes our brain does stuff without us even realizing it, that we go, okay, maybe something else is going on here, which was the case with this page. When I sort of reflect back on how I was feeling, what was happening in my recovery journey at this stage, you know, I was still finding, even though I was out of cast, you can see I've got my compression bandage on, you know, I was thinking everything would be, you know, rosy and back to normal, and, you know, going back to work would be a cinch, and, you know, I could be doing lots more than I could actually do. So it's my brain sort of telling me, hang on a minute, you're not quite there yet. You've still got a ways to go. You are still on a big journey here. Even though the doctors have sort of said, be prepared, this can take 6 to 12 months to be back to where you were, if you get back to where you were. And very luckily for me, the prognosis is looking really good. Hopefully I'll get most of the use of my arm back, or my wrist back, which is fantastic. Yeah, it's still going to be a big journey with lots of bumps along the road. So I think this is my brain just telling me, slow down a bit. It's okay. You don't have to have it back to normal straight away. So as I was doing this, I was finding I was going back into sort of my usual favourite shapes. So I've got sort of the lines, I've got those leafy leaves on it, I've got some dots in the background. But the thing that really surprised me about this page was the colours that I used and those really squiggly lines across the middle, because they were not in my usual palette, and I think they came out of a place of need more than anything else. You can see I put some sort of scribbly lines, or the loopy lines that I like to put down the bottom, but I didn't like them, so I painted over them, and that extra white on the page kind of blended into the background. So for the black, most of everything else in that page is acrylic. I had the woody pencils, Stabilo woody pencils, to go across the middle, but I used black drawing ink to draw my leaves on, and I really like it because it's just so dark and inky. You can obviously use a paint pen to do that, but I just wanted that sort of really fine line happening. But I also wanted to go over with the white and get those sort of really loopy, doodled effect over the top. And adding the white on sort of adds two things. It seems a bit redundant in the fact that you're sort of going over where you've drawn the black, but it actually also sort of highlights where the lines are, and it helps blend it back into the page somewhat, which seems silly because you'd like it to be the focal image, but it works. You'll sort of see that in the close-up. So I knew I needed, as I was doing this, I realized, hang on a minute, there is stuff is bothering you that you need to get out. So I went to find a quote, and this is a longer quote than I usually write on my pages. Usually they're sort of short and sharp and to the point, but this one sort of really spoke to me and kind of summed up a little bit about what was going on. So like a wildflower, she spent her days growing, I think. I'll just get my journal. It should be sitting next to me, shouldn't it? Here it is. Just find the page. It's all hidden away now. Like a wildflower, she spent her days allowing herself to grow. Not many people knew her struggles, but eventually all knew her light. And yeah, you guys are amazing because you kind of know what I've gone through, but a lot of people sort of day-to-day life don't realise, you know, that this has been a journey. And it's fantastic that I'm starting to use my right hand again, and I can write, and I can use my scissors, and I can do some things, but I can't do everything, and I've actually had to say no to people. You know, I can't do that yet, or, you know, my hand is really hurting. I need to stop doing that. So it's an interesting journey. A lot of it's interesting for me too, because I'm quite often the person, I have to say no to myself because I think I can do it, and my hand reminds me that no, you really can't. You need to take it easy for a while. So this is where the journey of this page came from. I'd be really interested in the comments to find out, you know, have you gone back to your journals and thought, that colour combination, I now know why I chose that, or there was something happening that made me pick up that colour paint. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.